This is what happened before Sasha confessed he wanted to die. Not recovery, not relief. In the last episode, you heard how hollow his life had become, how existing felt heavier, undeniably harder than dying. Tonight isn't about why he felt that way, because tonight he stopped resisting. Tonight he actually acted on it.
Mateo was out of town for a few days, so I jumped right into a piano job offer he didn't need to know about. Not for the money. It was my smallest act of rebellion. The line I crossed that he believed I never would. I did. And I need an escape. One pocket of air to my hollow lungs. One music note at a time to quiet the urge in the back of my head to urge me to disappear forever. One evening where nothing was asked of me. But I was wrong. Dead wrong. Because that night, I signed my life away. Officially.
In the ballroom, at the white grand piano.
The rubato of the first 5 notes of the song Kiss the Rain always does this to me. My heart lifts every time I play it, like someone finally heard me, like there's someone I want to reach out to. Then someone's harsh voice cut through my reverie.
That wasn't the deal. Are you fucking with me, Hitchison?
Another deep voice shot back. What the hell? Who let them in?
Oh, you think you can ghost me again? The first man retorted.
The second growled at his bodyguards. What are you standing there for? Get him out! Now!
Someone laughed too hard. Someone else didn't laugh at all. The room smelled of old leather and overpriced cologne, and the slow, escalating stench of hot-headed alphaness, of egos, the kind of nauseating pheromones that scream, "I dare you to outstupid me first." I didn't look up. I kept playing. Not because I was brave, not because I was calm, because if I stopped, someone might notice me. And it was pointless to stop now. I just wanted to finish the job, get paid, leave, go home. Then, boom, a chair smashed into the Black Stewart & Sons grand piano I was playing. The impact punched through the instrument, through the floor, through me. The entire piano shuddered violently, its polished body skidding an inch sideways, legs groaning in protest. The lid prop snapped. For a split second, time hesitated. Then the grand lid slammed down with a sound like a gunshot, rattling the strings beneath in a metallic scream. I barely had time to gasp before the fallboard followed. My hands jerked instinctively, but I was too slow. The fallboard fell, crushing onto the keys and onto the bones of my wrists, pressing down like a vice. Pain shot through me like splintered fire. Ow! 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 I cried, the sound breaking apart in my throat. By nature, a pianist's hands are more delicate than most, and mine, Omega, overused, trained for sensitivity, had no defense against brute force. Every tendon shrieked, every nerve caught fire. The piano, my refuge, my pocket of air, had become a trap. For a heartbeat, my vision tunneled. I knew this feeling. Pain like this meant the room could disappear if I let it. No, not now. Pain yanked me back into my body. I forced my eyes open, intending to call for help. But what I saw made the air catch in my throat. The private hall before me had exploded into violence. At least 20 men in black suits were colliding in the center of the room, shoving, grappling, fists flying. Shadows slammed into shadows, bodies blurred together in frantic motion. Someone shouted something I couldn't make out. Someone else laughed, too loud, too sharp. Crack, crack, crack. Wine bottles shattered in rapid succession, the sound piercing. My eyes snapped to the sound. Men seized the broken bottles and wielded them like weapons, charging into the chaos with lethal intent. Glass flew like frozen lightning. Screams cut through the chaos, sharp, raw. Obviously someone got stabbed. Somewhere, a body hit the floor with a sickening, wet thud. I looked away. I couldn't watch.
The air thickened instantly. Metallic blood, overheated cologne, alpha pheromones surging unchecked. The smell hit me like a physical blow. My stomach rolled. My head spun. Every omega instinct in my body screamed one command: get out. I wanted to just lean against the wall, curl into myself, but the night demanded motion. I tried to pull my hands free. The fallboard didn't budge. The pain intensified, exploding up my arms like wildfire beneath the 4, maybe 5 kilograms of solid wood. A chair whipped past my back, missing my head by inches. The rush of displaced air turned cold against my neck. My breath hitched. Think, move, make space. I bent forward as far as the trapped position allowed, jamming my shoe between the fallboard and my wrists, forcing the sole into the narrow gap. The angle was wrong. My foot slipped. I tried again, teeth clenched so hard my jaw ached. Pressure, pain, nothing. The room roared around me. Then, impact. A gorilla-sized bodyguard slammed into the piano with full force. The instrument lurched violently, one leg lifting off the floor. In that sliver of window, the fallboard shifted, just enough. I yanked. My hands tore free, slick with sweat and bloodless pain. The sudden release sent me stumbling backward, my balance gone. My knees hit the fallen pianist's chair, and I went down hard. My side slammed onto the floor. I caught myself on my elbow, pain screaming up my arm. My injured wrists escalated. Pain throbbed sharper now, deeper. Every tendon twisting, every nerve flaring. "Fuck!" I shouted, but the word vanished into the noise. Because a loud snapping sound of metal above me caught my attention. I looked up just as the chandelier shuddered violently. Some stray bullets punched into its frame. Glass exploded. Shards rained down in glittering arcs. Instinct took over. I rolled, lunging toward the unconscious man still pinned beneath the wrecked piano, throwing my jacket over us like a shield. The fabric caught glass, dulled impact, muffled sound. Inside the dim pocket beneath my jacket, the world became fragments, angry voices zigzagging across the room, fists slamming into flesh, grunts, curses, the sharp bark of pain. Rage, fear, chaos braided together. Then a voice cut through it all.
"Freeze! Police!"
The shout cut through the cacophony like a gunshot. Silence fractured the chaos. Flashing lights strobed across the polished floor, blue and red slicing through bodies and broken glass. Officers surged in with controlled precision, weapons raised, voices sharp.
"Hands where I can see them. Step away from the bodies."
"The boss is hit," someone shouted. "He's bleeding out. Hospital, now. Pressure on the wound. Don't let go. Clear the path. Move, move."
I removed my jacket. My heart hammered wildly as my eyes searched the room, instinctively hunting for the source of the panic. Then a hand gripped my upper arm, firm, grounding. I blinked hard, forcing focus. Johnson, my supervisor, my friend. "Is it over?" I asked. The words barely left my mouth before the world tilted violently, lights streaking, sound collapsing into a distant roar. Then everything went white. At the hospital, What felt like only a short while later, I woke. White light, the smell of disinfectant, the lights too bright. For a moment, I didn't know where I was. Then the shapes resolved, the curtains, the monitors, the low mechanical breathing of the ER. And then I saw him, Dr. Williams. Of course, it seemed my case had found its way back into his hands again. I instantly felt safe and assured already. I tried to sit up. Pain answered immediately. My left hand was wrapped in a thick, unforgiving bandage. Both arms bore neat rows of fresh stitches, some small, some not. They ached now that the adrenaline had abandoned me. Dr. Williams noticed my eyes open.
You're awake? That's good. Oh, your injuries. We closed the lacerations. Nothing life-threatening. But, Sasha, you got a bit of ligament damage. In both wrists. The left one's worse.
After that, he didn't say anything else. He didn't need to. The look he gave me wasn't anger, just exhaustion. The familiar weight I recognized almost every time he saw me. The look of someone who had put me back together too many times, because he had been the doctor I always went to since I was a kid. I could almost hear what he was thinking. I stitched you up this morning, and now you're back, with worse. I managed a small smile. Believe me, Doc, I said. This one really was work-related. You can ask my employer if you need proof. Under the harsh fluorescent lights, he studied me the way he always did, quietly, thoroughly, like he was reading something beneath the skin, something I wasn't ready to name.
Yes, I know. The police already spoke to us.
I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. The room settled back into silence again. I lay there in the thin paper gown, feeling smaller than I should have, aware of his X-ray knowing gaze, as if he could already see the weeks ahead, written somewhere in my hands. Then the curtain lifted. A nurse stepped in. The nurse's voice softened as she leaned closer to me, lowering it as if the words themselves required discretion. Mr. Grey, are you aware you're about 12 weeks pregnant? The sentence folded my world in half. I stared at the white wall behind her. My mouth moved. No sound came. Pregnant? 12 weeks? Inside me, something growing, while I'd been trying so hard to disappear. I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel panic. I felt postponed, even the urge to laugh, like my life had been quietly pushed to the back of a very long line, like my body had made a decision without consulting me. Then Dr. Williams looked at me then, wearing an expression I knew too well, pity, edged with helplessness, the look of someone who wanted to help, but knew he couldn't fix this for me, because I didn't let him, nor I let anyone else. Then came the question he always asked, maybe only ever asked me.
Is there someone we can call for you?
Maybe I was the only one. He always asked that to me. I pulled out my usual smile, carefully practiced, polite, reassuring, the kind that told people I was fine, the kind that kept them from looking too closely. Most of the time it worked. It fooled almost everyone. Sometimes it even fooled myself. But it just never fooled Dr. Williams. That I was sure. Once my stitches were dressed, I changed and walked out of the ER. I wasn't in a hurry to go home. Mateo was posted to Atlanta for the week.
So I settled into a stretch of plastic chairs lining the corridor. I stared at the floor tiles. White, off-white, white again. I told myself I was just catching my breath. What I was really doing was something rarer, giving myself permission to exist without apologizing for it. Only 3 hours ago, there had been blood, gunshots, bodies dropping in ways I knew would stain my sleep for nights to come. And only this morning, before Mateo left, I'd stood in the kitchen when he hurled a plate across the counter. The sound had startled me. The sardine can slipped from my hands. The lid sliced my arm as it fell. He'd been angry about something again. He was always angry about something. The breakfast was too bland. I'd looked at him wrong. I'd breathed too loudly. I was so tired. Tired of hurting. Tired of being afraid. Tired of waking each morning wondering if today would be the day he crossed a line my father once did. The line my father did to my mother. Whatever. Didn't care. The reasons had stopped mattering 2 years ago. The truth was simpler. I had already given myself up long ago. I just hadn't figured out how to make myself be gone, without pain, without mess, not look too ugly when I die. That was when the chaos found a new shape, not loud, but urgent. Urgent voices cut through the corridor, clinical.
Bone marrow failure, acute aplastic crisis.
We don't have O negative now. Need blood support immediately.
We're losing him by the hour.
I felt something shift in me. Not fear, something quieter. I felt alignment. Before logic could intervene, I heard myself speak. I'll do it. The words surprised me. I even lifted my hand, absurdly, like a student volunteering in class. My chest tightened the moment I spoke. Not with fear, but with a strange loosening, like I had finally stopped bracing for impact. I felt it then. The pull. Toward my end. Toward abandoning myself for peaceful rest. Or maybe I just wanted, just once, to be useful for a reason I chose for myself. Not owned, not endured, just choosing. They told me I'd need clearance, my alpha's consent. I told them my alpha was out of town and there wasn't time to wait. The hospital officers looked at me questioningly, probably thinking that wasn't an excuse at all. In this day and age, even half across the world, one can be reached with just a phone call away. They were right. That wasn't the whole truth. The truth was, just this once, I wanted to be the one making the decision. For once, I insisted on my autonomy. I insisted my decision. For once, I wanted the choice to be mine, alone. I couldn't explain it, only that it felt like an opportunity had finally fallen into my hands, and I felt the moment was just too perfect to give it up. While that resolve was still burning, I signed every consent form they put in front of me, didn't read a single word. I forgot I was pregnant. I forgot to tell them I was anemic. Even the anesthesiologist paused, studying me. "You're unusually calm," he said. "Most omegas would be frightened." Brave? I almost laughed. This wasn't bravery. This was the opposite of it. This was my exit I had been waiting for. The opportunity to finally let go of myself. And if letting go meant someone else got to live, maybe that was a bonus. Something that I could take with me smiling. The operating room was cold, the ceiling lights unforgiving. Voices blurred into numbers and jargon. People who still believed in saving things. Then Dr. Williams's worried face appeared above me.
Sasha, hold on. You're pregnant. You remember.
Oh, I managed, casually. As casually as someone just told me I forgot to take off my shoe.
That was when it came back to me. The thing inside me. Give me a moment, Doc. Then I closed my eyes, breathing normally. I waited for warmth, for a connection with the thing, for resistance, for something to rise and stop me. Nothing did. Just nothing. No regret, no resentment, no anger. Just nothing. If anything, I felt peaceful. The room held its breath. I knew without opening my eyes everyone was watching, waiting for my answer in abated breaths. Still, I waited a minute more. Nay, still felt nothing toward this thing, nor from it. Then I felt an understanding. I knew why. I knew the answer to the quiet inside me. No need to consult any expert. How could I feel anything for this thing inside me when I was already fully ready to die? After a long moment, I turned my head toward Dr. Williams. "Let me sign the termination consent," I said quietly, without a ripple of emotion. I wasn't planning to keep it in the first place. Whatever happens, let it happen. Dr. Williams looked like he wanted to ask me to reconsider, but he'd known me since middle school. He knew my history, knew what I had been going through, better than anyone in this existence. "I'm all right, Doc," I said, managing an assuring smile. "This is my decision." My voice totally calm, like the frozen in winter, dripping with clear resolute. I sank deeper into the operating bed, letting my body go heavy. A reassurance for him, or maybe for myself. If this works, I thought, I won't be in anyone's way anymore. There was no being a hero in it, because I felt no thrill, just acceptance, quiet accepting, just ready for self-erasure. An IV slid into my arm, an oxygen mask over my nose. The sterile air stung. Machines hummed, attentive, indifferent. "Count backward from 10, someone said softly, a gentle voice behind a mask. 10. 9. 8. The ceiling bled into white. Between 7 and 6, I thought of myself as a child, small hands clutching my own leg, certain the world could still be survived. Between 5 and 4, I thought of Mateo, his voice like broken glass, his love all edges and possessive and suffocating. How strange that even now I wanted him to know I wasn't afraid. 3. 2. Cold spread through my veins, my heartbeat thinned, distant. For the first time in years, my body felt light, very light, as if it finally understood what letting go meant. 1. And then, nothing.
Hi there. If you're still here, thank you for staying. Before we continue, I want to pause for a moment. Sasha is a fictional character, but the choices he made was a real case with consent. What you just heard wasn't heroism, and it wasn't weakness. It was what happens when a young person endures too much for too long without safety, until simply staying alive starts to feel chokingly conditional. Moments like these, they came with clarity. They don't announce themselves as decisions. They just knew it was time. They feel like relief, like rest, like the first quiet place a tired mind can lean on. In the next episode, 3, we step beyond the operating room into what survived, what changed, and what the body remembers long after the mind gone still. And if any part of this story touched something in you, know that you're not alone here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to support our work in healing burdened hearts.